Hello and welcome to the Realistic Velocity Racing League. Round 4 takes us to the Red Bull Ring in Austria for today's event. We appear to have 15 drivers involved for tonight, a lot of which are reserves. So I'll run through as to who is in whichever seat. Just looking to see where each driver is at. Just pardon me one moment. We'll have a look when the screen comes up. And it is a wet qualifying session. This is Q1. Although with there being only 15 drivers involved, this could well be treated as a practice session for the drivers. So we've got Boudigu in the AlphaTauri again, as he was last week. We've got Simps in one of the McLarens. Hayden's back for this week. Rimeleg and Ebar have been called in at Alfa Romeo. Balakushn is back in the Haas. William Gaiman is in the Mercedes once more. He was in the Aston Martin and Williams earlier this season. Yellow Flower is in the Red Bull. Gabriel called in at Williams. The Lone Wolf still at the Aston Martin. Cobalt likewise at AlphaTauri. Pack has been called into one of the Haas seats. Just Secret has been in the Mercedes, as he has done throughout the season so far. Hungary is in the other Red Bull, and Jackson in the Williams. We have got drivers on circuit now. And they are on the full wet tyres, given the conditions that we have. Now, if any of them do crash out on circuit, that is their qualifying session over. Meaning they won't get a shot at Q2. And someone has gone for a spin already. That'll be Hungary, who's lost his front wing on the exit of turn 3. So that'll be him back into the pits. So Ebar in the Alfa Romeo coming round to begin his first fine lap. We'll go riding on board with him to see how he gets on. So taking it cautiously through turn 1, and Balakushn has gone for a spin on the pit exit. Luckily, Ebar wasn't affected by that. Into turn 3, Ebar goes. Now down to turn 4 in second gear. See the spray being picked up onto the camera lens. The left hander of turn 6. Ebar waits patiently before he gets on the power. Avoids the curbs through 7 and 8. His teammate's gone off into the gravel at turn 8 there. That'll be Rimeleg. Now, the drivers had been briefed by the owner of the RVRL to ensure that standards are better tonight than they were in previous weeks. So Ebar goes to the top of the time pages on a 1:16.1, given he is the only driver to have set a time. Got the Lone Wolf crossing over the line with a time that's invalidated. And Cobalt now goes top on the 1:14.8. Jackson with a 1:15.3. And William Gaiman on a 1:14.9. Just Secret going 4th on a 1:15.5. Yellow Flower 1:14.9 for him. So the times so far, in terms of the driving standards, decent at this early stage. There's Simps in the McLaren. He'll be the next one to cross over the start-finish line to post the time. Sims crossing over the line to post a 1:14. Although I think his lap time may have been invalidated, so we'll come away from him. Here's Hayden. He'll be one of those going for the victory. $1:15.0 for him. Budigo in the AlphaTauri as Cobalt improves his time. 1:14.2. Budigo next up. That's his teammate. 1:15.7. Balakrishna has had his lap time invalidated. 1:15.0 for Hack. And Ebar's just slowing down to let the field go by. Drivers have been told about when they're on cool down laps or in laps or out laps, they stay out of all the other drivers' way in case they are on flying laps. Simps is about to complete another flying lap for himself. 1:16.3 for him so far. So 10 drivers have posted time so far. Here's Gabriel in the Williams as Hayden improves to 5th on a 1:14.9. Gabriel looking to join them on that list. Not quite doing so, it's a 1:15.7. Lone Wolf next up. 1:17.0 for him in the Aston Martin. Balakrishna taking it steady through turns 9 and 10. It's not the best of exits, to be quite honest with you. He needs to be going quicker than that, perhaps a little bit too cautious through the last turn. 1:17.2 for him. Now Hungary in the Red Bull. He's made a mistake on this lap actually, so I don't think this is going to be a representative time. So he will go once more. He goes wide at turn 1. So that time hasn't been invalidated, so he may be able to go on and improve the time. Simps doesn't improve on his effort. And Balakrishna going too quick off turn 4. $1:17.6 for Lone Wolf. That's no improvement for him. Balakrishna is ducking into the pits. Hungary not going very quick on his lap. We'll go to Rimelig, the only driver yet to post the time of any sort in this session. $54.2 by sector 2. Hungary ducks back into the pits. The Lone Wolf is on an improvement, as is Gabriel. Oh, and Rimelig loses it there. He touches the wall. He's able to continue on his way. So the Lone Wolf will be next to hopefully improve his lap time. Takes it steady through the last turn. And he improves by a 10th. He stays in 12th position. Gabriel goes up to 7th place on a 1:15.5. You can see one of the... Is that a Red Bull coming out of the pits there? Or is that it's an AlphaTauri actually? Cobalt it is. Ebar's had his lap time invalidated on his effort. Now Sims is looking to improve, but his lap time's been invalidated, so that's his lap over. The lone wolf is on an improvement. There's one of the Williams goes round, that's Jackson. The lone wolf finds a way to avoid him. The lone wolf entering the last two turns. Oh, he got a horrible understeer. That'll cost him some time. It's a 1:16.8. It's an improvement, but not by much. You can see Cobalt going on to intermediates. Not sure it's the right conditions to be on them. Oh, he nearly lost it there. Nearly binned it in the wall. He's a second away by sets to one anyway, so Rimelig is retired from the session. He's stuck in the pits anyway, so he'll be able to carry on with his qualifying should he wish to. So Cobalt, top of the timing pages on a 1:14.2. Then it's Will in second on 1:14.3. You see Cobalt struggling there on the intermediates. I think you can tell that they are the wrong tyres to be on in these conditions right now. Gabriel's improving in the Williams by a 10th through sector 2. Are we going to see an improvement from him? Not this time because he's exceeded track limits. So he'll have to go again. Hungary's on a good lap though. Can he get into the 1:15s? Been given his pace so far, it looks very good for him to achieve that. But he's exceeded track limits. So not only invalidates that lap, but invalidates the next one as well. There's not really too many other drivers. I think Jackson's another one of those on the intermediates, but he's struggling to get the car so down for turn 3, and he spins round. So Hack going on for a flying lap in the Haas. Gets the car nicely turned in, keeping his car within the confines of the racetrack as well. .17.8 in sector 1, that's good from Hack. He's currently safe on the 15.0. And one of the Red Bulls has gone round for a spin. I think Hack has gone off as well, so Gabriel is about to improve on his time. 1:15.5 was his previous best. It's now 1:15.2. Goes 7th fastest. No change of position, but an improvement of lap time. Here's Ebar in the Alfa Romeo. We've got 5 minutes remaining now of Q1. No one has crashed out on circuit so far, which is good news. A number of people saying hi as well. Hi to all of you. Do make sure you leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Now Ebar, let's see what his time in sector 2 is like. He's a 10th up by this point from what he had set before. It's a 1:16.0 he had set. Entering turns 9 and 10. Just about gets away with it there. It looks like he ran wide at turn 9. His lap time's valid. It's a 1:15.9. He stays 10th with that. Here's Gabriel in the Williams, who's coming through now. Hayden's retired in the pits, that's no problem. 1:15.0 for Gabriel. nearly 2 tenths quicker than before. He stays 7th. Hack is on the flying lap as well, but his first sector was really poor. And come away from him because he's so far behind. Twitch has had his lap time invalidated. Jackson coming back into the pits. He knows that the intermediates are not the tyres to be on. Too much standing water around. So Balakushna coming into sector 2 is way off from where what he had set beforehand. So we'll come away from him. The Lone Wolf is next behind. What's his time like in sector 2? It's a 52.1, half a second up from before. So he's on course for a low 1 minute 16 at least. Now does he get the car turning nicely for turn 9? He does so. He caught the curb on the exit of 9, which compromises entry into 10. And it's a 1:16.0. It goes 11 with that effort. Balakushna on a better lap in the pass. Just see one of the Red Bulls moving out of the way. That's Yellow Flower. So 1.5 minutes remaining. No one will be eliminated at the end of Q1. Balakushna entering turn 6. He wants to try and be in the 51s if he can. He's at 52.6, which is his best time by this point in the lap, a second up from before. So he could well go into the 1 minute 15s with this effort. Very nice entry into 9. And onto the start finish straight. Balakushna is going to post a 1 minute 16.1. And that puts him 12th ahead of Simps. Hungary goes second on a 1:14.3. That's more like it from him. Some decent lap times coming in now. Now is Balakushna going to go for one last attempt here? He could well do. He's over a 10th away by sector 1. Ebal's just started another flying lap. Lone Wolf coming back into the pits. Ebal going through sector 1, 200ths away. Balakushna's gone for a spin at turn 4. I think he's crashed out, to be honest with you, or he's retired on circuit, which is not the right thing to be doing. So one of the stewards will have a word with Balakushna for that. Ebal got out wide at turn 4. It's gone off the track. No, don't tell me he's trying to retire on circuit. Yeah, he has. That's against the rules as well. So, stewards will be having words with these drivers afterwards as Hungary comes back into the pits. So just waiting for the session to officially end. So I've already mentioned no one will be eliminated at the end of this one. So Cobalt was fastest in Q1, but that's not going to determine the grid. Also, our 15 drivers will make it into Q2. So we'll be back in a moment. Here we go for Q2 then. We've just seen drivers making their way out onto the track. Balakushna is one of them. Now, just for your information, these cars are on the realistic performance setting, not equal, like a lot of the other leagues are. So we should expect to see the likes of Mercedes, Red Bull, Ferrari, McLaren to be up there, and Haas towards the bottom. So this is Q2. We'll lose 5 drivers at the end of the next 15 minutes. While the top 10 make their way through into Q3. Balakushna begins a flying lap in the Haas. It's an 18-1 by sector 1. Going out of shade over turn 4, but he's kept the car pointing the right way. Balakushna going to turn 7 and 8. A little bit too quickly, I should think. Hayden's right behind him, so you'll need to watch him. He's exceeded track limits, so that's his lap over. Hayden's next behind him. He's going to post a 1 minute 14.0. So that's the best time we've seen so far in qualifying. Now Bugadoo's had a lap invalidated. Ebar is still going though in the Alfa Romeo. Onto the start finish straight. And his lap time will be a 1 minute 16.0. Just Secret coming through in the Mercedes. He goes up to third on a 1:14.9. And Jackson's lost his front wing. And here's Hack. posting a 1:15.2 in the Haas. And then it's Will in the Mercedes posting a 1:13.7, which is by far the best time of this qualifying session so far. One of the McLarens is off in the gravel, it's Hayden. Stays out of everyone's way. We'll go to the Lone Wolf. It's a 1:15.5 for him. And he goes 6th with that. Boogadoo's had another lap time invalidated, so he'll have to go again. 52.5 for Gabriel by sector 2. Through turn 9 smoothly. It's 1:16.0 for Gabriel, and he goes 7th with that. Boogadoo and Yellow Flower on flying laps. Go to Boogadoo next. .51.9 by sector 2. Coming into the pits actually, probably because he was low on fuel. So he goes in. Yellow Flower continues on his way in the Red Bull. But he's had his lap time invalidated. Too wide at turn 9. And that's his next lap also invalidated. Here's Gabriel on a much improvement in the Williams. He's pick of oversteer on the exit, lost a bit of time. 1:15.5 for him. Simpson's on not a very quick lap here. Go to Cobalt next though, because he's definitely on a quick lap. So in sector 2 you need to be in the 51s. Suddenly Chunk Cobalt got a little bit out of shape on the exit of 9. Keeps his car within the limits of 10. Oh, he's gone off! Well, he hit the wall. Oh, he's taken out the Williams as well. He's taken out the Williams, and rightly so, he has been penalised. So Cobalt's been given a 5-place grid drop for the collision. Silly driving that really from Cobalt. He should have just waited for the Williams to go past. But instead he's just clipped the rear of him. So I have to say, that penalty was deserved. No question. Jackson continues on though. Let's hope he hasn't picked up too much damage from it. Now, can he get into the 51s by sector 2 here? He can. It's a 51.5 by there. This is a really good lap so far from Jackson. He's looking to book a place in Q3. Oh, he's lost it though. Pushing too hard and being too greedy on the throttle. Oh, he's crashed out though. Well, he's hit the wall. Now, he's got to be careful not to rejoin into the path of Cobalt. Or Boogadoo, actually. So your bottom 5 are Boogadoo, Rimaleg, Balakrishna, Yellow Flower and Jackson. .116.8 for Balakrishna goes 9th. That pushes Cobalt into the drop zone. And Simps is off the track at turn 2, as his teammate Hayden on the exit of turn 8. He's continued on his way though. There's Balakushna. Entering turn 4. Nice exit there. By 6:2. So 52.4, 9/10 up from his previous best time. He would improve his lap time, but that would not see him improve his position. He's 1.3 off the next one in front of him, which is the Lone Wolf. He's entering the last turn now. What time will this be for him? It's a 1:16.1. So he lost some time in the last sector, but it's an improvement in regards to lap time. Gabriel also on improvement in the Williams. 1:14.6. That puts him 4th behind Hungary. Lone Wolf goes past Balakushna. I think the Lone Wolf went off at turn 3, so we'll come away from him. And Gabriel is off at turn, that's on the exit of turn 3, so on that back straight there, it's continued. So less than 4 minutes to go. There's still 3 drivers who have yet to post a lap time. Well, Rimalik has yet to come out of the pit lane. And Simps is off on the exit of turn 1. He's picked up damage to his front wing, and that could well be the end of his qualifying session. This is in the bottom 5. So Lone Wolf looking to improve on his 1:15.5. It's not quick so far. Hungary is off on the exit of turn 3. That goes past the Red Bull. So Hack is currently 7th on a 1:15.2. And Will has stopped in the pits. He's retired from the session, but he will be back for Q3 should he get there. I've just seen Cobalt go 2nd on a 1:13.8. So he's out of the drop zone, that pushes Balakushna into it. Hack goes 6th on a 1:14.8. So he pushes himself further away from the drop zone. The Lone Wolf going for another effort. Jackson says current lap invalidated. Yellow Flower going for another attempt as the Lone Wolf goes for a spin. But the Yellow Flower avoids him. So Yellow Flower entering turn 6. .51.3. So Yellow Flower entering the start finish straight. 1:14.2 for him. He goes fourth out of the drop zone with that. So Jackson needs to find a decent lap here, otherwise he'll be out of qualifying at the end of this. 51.4 by sector 2. And Lone Wolf stays out of his way. Balakushna retires from the session. It's a good effort from him in 12th place. 1:16.1. And one of the McLarens has gone off. Is that Simps who's gone round? No, it's Hayden who's gone round. But either way, Jackson's posted the 7th fastest time. That pushes Ebar into the drop zone. And we know 4 drivers who are going out at the end of qualifying at the end of this. Ebar is on an improvement in sector 1. Boudigu, who's just started his flying lap. So the checker flag is out now. Just Secret is also on the cusp. Jackson's retired on circuit, which is not allowed. So he'll be another one going to the stewards post-race. And Ebar has exceeded track limits, so he will not be improving his time, and that confirms his elimination from qualifying. So we have our 5 eliminated drivers. They are Ebar, the Lone Wolf, Balakushna, Simps and Rimelig. Boudigu can afford to back off on this lap if he wants to. So Boudigu entering the last 2 turns. So Hayden also going into the pit lane. And we should see the end of Q2 from here. Some fairly close lap times. But we do have 5 dropping out at the end of this one, leaving the top 10 to battle it out for pole position in Q3. So your 5 eliminated drivers are Ebar, the Lone Wolf, Balakushna, Sims and Rimelig. And take note as well that Cobalt has a 5-place grid penalty for causing the collision with Jackson, which will be applied to whichever grid spot he ends up by the end of Q3. We'll be back for the final 12 minutes of qualifying before the 36 lap race. Don't go anywhere. So 12 minutes to decide the remainder of the grid. Who will come out on top over the course of qualifying. These do count for the grid spots on the grid. The only change that will be is Cobalt. He's got a 5-place grid drop hanging over him. So wherever he ends up by the end of Q3, he will go back 5 positions on the starting grid. So the highest he can end up is 6th. Now what I was going to say was it's the championship standings, which we've not spoken about so far yet. Just Secret is the leader with 51 points, and its second place The driver, who's not around this evening, he's on 36. It's Hayden in third on 26. And Leclerc in fourth, who's on the same number of points. But he's banned for this one, following his shenanigans in Zandvoort a week ago. So will be the first of those to come round to start applying that. 7 drivers are currently on track. Jackson, Cobalt and Yellowflower still in the pits. They're probably just going to wait for a gap in the traffic before they go for their efforts. So Will starting the final lap in the Mercedes. A 1 minute 13. Around 1 minute 13.7 is where he wants to be. Now for sector 1 he wants to be in the high 17s, if not faster than that. It's a 17.7. Entering turn 4. And then through 6 for the fast 7 and 8. So 50.9 by sector 2. It's the fastest we've seen by this point. Oh, he's overdone it. He's overdone it on the exit of turn 8, so he'll have to go again following that. I think Hayden's time is not very quick either in the McLaren, so he'll complete this lap and go again. Now Cobalt is out on circuit now in the AlphaTauri. 1:13.7 for Hayden. Vertigo's next behind. It's only a 52.1 by sector 2, which is really poor. 1:15.6, he goes behind Gabriel, who is in second now. Then it's Hack, who is in second place on the 1:14.9 in the Haas. That's a good effort from him. Jackson's out on circuit now in the Williams. .51.0 by sector 2 for Will. It was not as quick as the last lap before. It was this point of the lap where his lap time ended up being invalidated. So through turn 9, nicely done. Likewise with 10. Has to lift off the throttle ever so slightly. But this lap is still good enough to put into provisional pole position. It's a 1:13.5 for him. So over 2 tenths clear of Hayden in second place. Hungary's next behind in the Red Bull. What lap is he going to clock up here? A 1:13.6. He goes to the front row with that. Excellent job from him. Just Secret's next behind. Championship leader, of course. And he goes to a 1:14.5, but it's only good enough for 4. Cobalt's over the line, but he's made a mistake on his lap, hence why it's a 1:20.4, which is far away from where it should be setting. Here's Hayden in the McLaren. Coming into sector 2, 50.7, but he's exceeded track limits. He's off into the gravel. And he spun into the barrier. Luckily his car's, he's able to keep those wheels spinning because the car's not terminally damaged. But that won't do his side pod any good whatsoever. We'll go back to Cobalt because he's just going through sector 2 now. 50.6. going past Jackson. He's made a mistake on his effort. It's over the line. Cobalt goes to provisional pole position with a 1:13.5. So he's over 100 faster than Will with that effort. Gabriel is also on a flying lap. He's currently 7th on a 1:15.2. And Gabriel in the Williams, 51.8 by 62. He's a 10th up from before, but it doesn't look as though he's going to be able to challenge Hack unless he finds a heap of time in the last sector. He's got a kick of wheel spin on the exit of 8. He's into the pits anyway. We'll go to Jackson. He's coming up behind Cobalt. I don't know if Cobalt's going for another flying lap here. It looks as though he is. So we'll stay with him, and then we'll go to Jackson. And Cobalt's time is even quicker than before. It's 1:13.4. Jackson, what about his time? 1:14.7. He goes 6th with that. So Cobalt is able to extend his advantage over Will with that time. Jackson's in the wall. He got carried away after exceeding track limits on the exit of turn 1. He's binned it in the barrier, and he's out of qualifying. So he won't start any higher than 6th on the grid. So Hungary going for another effort, another attempt I should say, in the Red Bull. Yellow Flower, who's yet to post a time in Q3. Imagine he'll go for another couple of laps. A couple of flying laps. 17.9 by sector 1. It's not the quickest. Coming through the kink of 5, and got the long sweeping left-hander of 6. 51.4 by sector 2. So he's probably looking at a high 1:14 with this effort from Yellow Flower, providing he gets through the last couple of turns without exceeding track limits. .14.2 for him. He goes 5th with that. It's a good lap actually from Yellow Flower. Hayden improving his time to pole position. 1:13.3 for him. So he found a time out of nowhere to go 0.08 of a second faster than Cobalt. It's a brilliant lap from the McLaren. Hungary's also on a fast lap in the Red Bull, so we'll stay with him. So Yellow Flower coming up behind his teammate. So this is going to be a faster lap than before. No, he's over a tenth away from what he'd set, so he'll have to go again. We've got 1 minute remaining. Hayden fastest, Cobalt second, which will become seventh as it stands. As the lap times continue to improve. Gabriel's on an improvement in the Williams, nearly 6 tenths faster than before, which will be enough for him to go ahead of Hack and Jackson. Oh, he got out of shape in turn 9, turned in too late. Carried a bit too much speed, I think. Oh, he's lost it though. He's lost it on the exit of the last corner, got on the power too early. I think that's his last effort gone as well because he's on the pit straight. So Yellow Flower, this is his last attempt to improve his grid position. 51.1 by sector 2, which is 0.3 of a second faster than before. It would not be enough for him to improve. I think Gable's retired on track, which is not how he should be doing it. And Yellow Flower will manage no better than 5th place on the grid. So Hayden on a big improvement here with this time. Was it going to be for him? It's a 1:13.2, and he will start the Austrian Grand Prix on pole position, unless Will Gaiman can do anything about it. He's the only driver now that can deprive Hayden of pole position. He's got an AlphaTauri ahead of him, that's Boogadoo. Oh, he got out on the curb on the outside. That won't do his exit speed any good. Now the AlphaTauri's ahead of him. He needs to move out of the way. He does so now. Half a tenth up by sector 2 for Will. So he needs to find a huge amount of time in the last sector here. Keeps his car within the track limits. Over nice and early. 13.3. That's not enough to see him go ahead of Hayden, but we'll start on the front row. So Hayden is on pole position for the Austrian Grand Prix with Will's Mercedes alongside him. So here's your top 10 for the Austrian Grand Prix. Hayden's on pole with Will alongside him. Then it's Cobalt, who's qualified third, will go back 5 places on the grid following his collision with Jackson in Q2. So Hungary will start third alongside Yellow Flower. Then it's Just Secret in 5th ahead of Hack. And then it's Jackson in 7th alongside, of all people, Cobalt. Gabriel and Boudigu round out your top 10. So that's qualifying over. We'll be back for the race in a moment or so time. Stay tuned. So we're about 10 seconds away from the formation lap now. It's a dry race, which means all the drivers can start on whatever tyres they like. We should have 15 on the grid. They're away for the start. Let's have a look to see who is starting on what. So the top 5 are all starting on the mediums. Hack, Jackson, Gabriel and Boudigu on softs. Cobalt's on mediums, as is Lone Wolf and Simps. All the others are on softs as well. So on a circuit like the Red Bull Ring, which is a fan's favourite, we shouldn't have too many problems, although drivers are warned to keep an eye out on those curbs. They have caught them out in the wet during the course of quali. So Hayden will be looking to make a one-stop here. He'll be looking to make the one-stop work anyway. Can he claw back the margin that he had lost in the last round? He didn't compete in the last round, I don't think, in Zandvoort. And just to let you know of the other races that will be happening this season in the RVRL. We've got Silverstone afterwards, and then it's Budapest in Hungary, then it's Spa, Monza and Singapore. And then round 10 will be at Imola, providing that DLC circuit has been released in time for that, which will be which is 6 weeks from now, which it will be at the end of September. Then it's Japan for round 11, then it's USA, and then Portugal, Mexico, and then the final race of the season will be in Brazil, which will be around the start of November. Well, Hayden leads the drivers onto the grid then for the start of this Austrian Grand Prix. Now, Hack is already there. That's because he's made contact with someone during the formation lap. So 15 drivers on the grid then for this 36 lap Austrian Grand Prix. So Hayden on the right, Will on the left. Who will come away supreme at the Red Bull Ring? It's lights out and away we go. Hayden gets off the line well, as does Hungary from third place, who gets in front of Will briefly, but you've got the other Mercedes of Justin who goes right round the outside of the Red Bull. So it's McLaren who leads with the two Mercedes 1 and 2. One of the Red Bulls goes off into the barrier, and it looks like Yellow Flowers has gone off there. We'll have a look at it shortly. No, it's Hungary who's gone off. So Hungary at the back of the field already in the Red Bull. He did make contact with the wall, but he seems to have kept going. But he's right at the back of the field, with Hayden still in the lead, with Secret second, Will third, Jackson already up to fourth on the soft compound. He's going side by side with Yellow down into turn 4. He's also got the adversary to his right. That's Cobalt. It's going to go to the inside of him and the Red Bull. The three make contact together, but somehow they all keep pointing the right way. Jackson still going side by side with the Red Bull of Yellow Flower as they go through turn 6 for the first time. Still side by side between the pair of them. Jackson surely has the high ground as they go into 7 and 8. Jackson gets up into 4th place as Cobalt looks to make his way through on the Red Bull, but has to slot him behind him. Gable's in 7th place. Hack, Ebar and Balakushna running at your top 10 so far. So Hayden ending lap 1 in the lead. Just looking to see if there's anyone who's got damage. There's no question Hungary's got damage. I think he's the only one who's picked up damage in all of that. So he's on his way into the pits. Now, will he decide to call it a day, or will he decide to keep going? I hope he keeps going, to be honest with you, because there's a long way to go yet in this one, and you never know, a safety car could change things. You can see the leaderboard is currently glitching at the moment, so what you're seeing in terms of race order is, in actual fact, not the correct race order. So Hayden leads as he Just Secret, going past Will and up into 2nd place. No DRS for the first 2 laps, of course. You can see Cobalt trying to barge his way past Yellow Flower, who maintains his 6th position. Cobalt will be looking to make up for lost time after being demoted at the end of qualifying for a collision with Jackson. He's already had a tussle with him already in this race. Doesn't want to be battling out with him too much. Boudigo's gone for a spin in the AlphaTauri, but has continued anyway. Hayden must have run wide. I think he's got a warning for exceeding track limits there. I think Secret's got the same. So we're coming to the end of lap 2. Hayden with the fastest up of the race so far, but that time will come down easily as the fuel burns off on all of these cars. And someone's gone for a spin in sector 1. Is that Simps? It is. No damage done, but he rejoins in 14th position. Cobalt gets ahead of Jackson now, goes off into 6th place. I think Yellowfire's got ahead of him as well. Cobalt and Yellowfire go side by side. Contact made into turn 4. That's going to allow Jackson an opportunity to fight back here, and he gets through past the Red Bull. Can he also get past the AlphaTauri as well? Down the inside goes Jackson into turn 6 on the AlphaTauri, and Cobalt stays in front. So Cobalt making a nice move there on the pair of them. He's already got up into 4th place now. He's got the 2 Mercedes next up. Can he go after them? We'll find out soon enough. Balakushna gets the first time penalty of the race for track limits. So So that will be added to his time at the end of the race. Hayden with a new fastest lap, 1 minute 6.4. We'll be hoping to keep that point by the end of the race. You can see Will with DRS now. He's going to go past his teammate. Sims gets penalised for track limits. And Will, with the DRS advantage, goes up into second place again. Although Secret may be able to fight back on the exit. Although he's dropped back again because he didn't quite get as good of a drive as he needed to have done on the exit of turn 3. Cobalt and Jackson go toe-to-toe. Jackson just got ahead of the AlphaTauri into turn 3. And Cobalt trying to fight back. Can't quite do so there. So Hayden leads. Will close in behind in the Mercedes in second place. We are expecting the Mercedes to have a performance advantage over the McLaren in this. And Cobalt's gone for a spin in the AlphaTauri. What's happened? Oh, he spun round on the exit of 7. So in his fighting with Jackson and Yellowflower has resulted in him dropping down the order. Will's posted a new fastest up of the race. Cobalt rejoins in 12th. And someone's gone off in sector 3. That'll be for Hayden. Or is that Simpson's just had a moment? No, it's Cobalt again, who's had a spin. He allows the McLaren to go past. He's had a nightmare of a race so far. So Hayden continuing to lead. Then it's the two Mercedes in second and third places. The Lone Wolf gets ahead of Boogadoo into 10th. Contact made between the pair of them, but no harm done. So there's your top 3. Yellowflower gets penalised for track limits now. He's the latest to be falling the wrath of the stewards. Will gets penalised again, and Boudigo is out of the race. He's lost it on the exit of turn 6. He's gone into the barrier on the left-hand side. You just see there, look. Will that bring out the first safety car of the race? He's far off the firing line. It may well be a VSC. But it looks as though the stewards are deciding to carry on under waved yellows through there. So Boudigo is the first retirement. He will not repeat his podium from last week as the Lone Wolf comes into the pits. Did he have a coming together with Boudigo on that lap? Well, he's coming into the pits for a new nose now. Someone's gone off at turn 1. It's Simps, who's gone round again in the McLaren, has continued on his way. So Hayden leads. Will is in second. Secret not too far behind in third. So race strategy, I think, is going to play a big role in this one. And Will got the better drive off turn 10 than Hayden. DRS open. Will he go for it into turn 1? I don't think he will. Rear wing open on the Mercedes. As it looks to close in on the McLaren of Hayden as they enter turn 3. There's Hack closing in on 5th place Yellowflower. Yellowflower runs wide, looking to try and get the better exit. He's had a good race so far, good qualifying actually as well. There's Belakrishna in 9th place. Cobalt looking to get through on Rimaleg. And Cobalt gets past the Alfa Romeo round the outside into turn 4, and that's him up into 10th place. So he's beginning to make a recovery drive so far, but his chances of a podium have pretty much gone unless we do get a safety car later in the race. Here's a fight though, the battle for 4th between Jackson, Yellowflower, Hack and Gabriel. Gabriel gets penalised for track limits as well. 3 seconds it is. So Will closing in on Hayden, or staying within the second of him anyway. Someone's gone off. Not sure whereabouts that is. I think that maybe the Lone Wolf has just gone for a spin momentarily. Or is it Sims? I think it was Sims actually that had gone for a spin. And he's dropped behind the Lone Wolf. So whilst we've got one McLaren struggling at the back, we've got the other that's leading the race at the moment. Sims goes into the pits. I think he's ripped off his front wing as well. Struggling to get the car turned in. So Hayden continues to lead, puts a lap on his teammate now. He's lost a heap of time, not just by spinning off, but en route to the pit lane as well. Here's Yellow Flower looking to make a move on Jackson. Oh, Jackson slowed down so much. Nearly caught the Red Bull off guard, but luckily no contact was made. I think Jackson did that to get the DRS, but that was quite dangerous in terms of the manner in which he slowed down to let the Red Bull go through. Oh, Jackson spun round though, and contact with the Haas. Hack has got damage to his front wing, I think. Maybe not actually, but that won't do the aerodynamics too good, and Gabriel had to take evasive action, so Jackson down to 7th place as he tried to make that move on the Red Bull. There's Balakushna behind the back marker of Simps. Less than a second still between the top two. Will looking to... I'm not sure if he's using the DRS on this lap. He may not have been within a second at the detection point. Hence why he didn't use it. He's using it now though. We're on lap 10 out of 36 so far. Hayden leads. It's Will in second place. Someone's gone off in sector 3. I think that was the AlphaTauri of Cobalt who'd gone round, but it's continued. Loses even further ground to Balakushna. What a great battle for the lead we've got now between Hayden and Will. This could well come down to strategy, and also Will has that time penalty. And someone's gone off in sector 3. That's Jackson again for Williams. Let's continue though. And Will gets penalised again for track limits as Gabriel comes into the pits for his first stop of the race. Gets the car slowed down in time. That's a perfect pit lane entry actually for Gabriel. Timed the pit lane speed limiter very well. But the problem is his teammates coming in. So Jackson in for a change of tyres. Now will the Williams crew be ready in time for Jackson? And someone's gone round. Is that Hungary again? It is. Hungary's race goes from bad to worse in the Red Bull. He's nearly a lap down on the leaders. So there's Hayden. And Hungary's off again at turn 9. He's pointing the wrong way. Could well see a retirement, to be honest with you, from Hungary. He's into the pits. I think that's going to be his race over as well. And Hungary gets penalised for track limits. Well, not for track limits, for speeding in the pit lane. So there's Will right behind the McLaren of Hayden. I've seen drivers coming to the pits. Hack's in, Ebar's in as well. Balakushna is in 5th position. So Hayden still in front. You can see Rimelig into the pits. He's out on his way again. And just seen, is that Jackson coming out? Or is that the Lone Wolf actually? No, it's Rimelig. Rimelig was the one who just come out of the pits, so that's these two through. Just Secret in third place as Balakrishna comes into the pits for his first stop of the race. So Yellow Flowers in fourth position. Sector 1. Hayden gets a time penalty now for track limits, that's 3 seconds. Now Will's got a 6-second time penalty, Hayden's got 3. Just Secret, who's quite some way back in third place now, does not have a time penalty at all. So Hungary's trying to unlap himself from the AlphaTauri of Cobalt. Now, when will Will or Hayden decide to pit in first? Lone Wolf is into... I don't think he's into the pits. I think he's just made a mistake on the start-finish straight. Yes, he has. So, no harm done. He has lost time. And Ebar getting in front of Gabriel as well now for 7th. And Balakrishnan is off into the gravel on the exit of 4. Not sure what's happened there, but he's recovered out of it now. Lone Wolf has let the leaders go through. And on lap 15 out of 36, Jackson's the next to be penalised. There's now only 6 drivers left in the race who do not have a time penalty at all. And Lone Wolf is off again at turn 6. He's on the soft tyres as well. He must have been on those since he's had them on earlier on, so don't know why he keeps going across the gravel like that, probably to get out of the leader's way. Balakrishnan into the pits for a change of tyres in the Haas. Lone Wolf entering the pits in the Aston Martin. And Just Secret's in as well. He's just completed his stop. And he'll rejoin in third place ahead of Cobalt. So he's got some nice clean air ahead of him now. Hungary continues to get penalised. 3 seconds it is for track limits. Hayden still holding off Will as they approach the end of lap 16, sorry. Neither of them deciding to make their move into the pit lane. Jackson's in for Williams, which means that the top 8 are still all on the lead lap so far, although Hayden and Will have still yet to come into the pits. Rimelig is able to complete an undercut on Jackson to go up into 9th position, but it is expected he will be pitting again before this race is over. He's currently on the soft compound as the Lone Wolf goes off the exit of turn 6. The same places where Boudagou had gone off. And Hack moves ahead of Cobalt, who pits in the AlphaTauri. Twitch gets penalised for track limits. Someone's gone off in turn 1. I think that's one of the Hasses is just moving out of the way, actually. Unless Hack has made a mistake, because Yellowflower has just overtaken him. Now the Lone Wolf has left the session, but he's not retired the car. Now if he's not going to continue, he may as well just retire the car. Because otherwise AI cars can cause problems for human players, especially under safety car conditions. Minute 6.0 for Yellowflower. New fastest up of the race from him. It's Just Secret in third place. As one of the McLarens has gone for a spin, it's Simps. He's had a very lackluster of a race, to be honest with you. And Will gets another penalty for track limits. This is not looking good in his pursuit of finishing second at this rate. Jackson posts a new fastest up of the race in the Williams. Yellowflower getting another penalty as well for track limits. The drivers seem to be struggling to keep their cars on the racetracks. So on the racetrack when they should be. It's understandable that they are pushing hard, but now when Will or Hayden decide to pit in, who's going to come in first at the end of this lap? Neither of them are doing so yet. They're probably going to wait until when they decide to go onto a set of the soft compounds. And one of the Rebels has gone round for a spin. It's Hungary. He's down in 12th place. So Will still within DRS range. Can he have a go down the inside of Hayden into turn 4? He's too far back to do it from there, so we'll have to wait once more. He may decide to try and complete an undercut on Hayden and take the lead as a result. Now, given that it is a dry race, they've only been on the medium compound so far. They've got to take on the softs or the hards on their next stint. And Hungary's out of the race. He's stopped in the pits. He's going no further. No need for a safety car or VSC because he's stopped in the pits. As Hayden and Will pit in together. So Will not attempting to go for the undercut on Hayden. So it's down to the pit crews to decide who will get out first here. Mercedes is away. So is the McLaren, who is still ahead. They will rejoin behind that Aston Martin and Alfa Romeo. Soft tyres going on for both Hayden and Will. And now they're just trying to get through on the Aston Martin and the Alfa Romeo, who are not getting out of the way when they should be doing so. They knew the leaders were coming up behind them and they just didn't get out of the way in time. Luckily, Hayden's car wasn't damaged, or Will's. That could have ended disastrously there for either of the two. this fight for the lead is going to go into the end, although Will's time penalty is 6 seconds more than Hayden. It'd still be enough for him to keep on the second place as it stands. So although he's got a 9-second time penalty, Just Secret's gap to him is 12 seconds, and Will is on better tyres at this stage now. 15 laps remaining. Hayden on course to take a victory, which would see him close in at the top. Just Secret would get 15 points in this race. He would keep hold of the lead in the championship race. And Will looking to go to the inside. Ooh, Hayden shut the door firmly there. It was very marginal. And now can Will get the DRS and make a move down the inside as they go towards turn 4 here. Riding on board with Will now. Side by side into turn 4. Has Will done it? Wheel to wheel. Hayden's still in front. And he should keep hold of the lead here. That was good tussling between those two, keeping it clean. To be fair, Hayden nearly forced Will off the track before they got to turn 3. But they luckily didn't make contact. Now the McLaren and the Mercedes go onto the start-finish straight once more. Just 2 drivers out of the race so far. They are Hungary and Boudegou. As Will gets into the slipstream of the McLaren. Will he go for it into turn 3? No, he waits behind because he knows there's another DRS zone coming up. May do it from here though. So will he go for it again down the inside? I think he will do, you know. But Hayden, once again, keeping the door shut on him. That was more clean from Hayden than it was a lap ago at turn 3. And looks like Simps has just come into the pits for McLaren. And Hack has just come in for another pit stop. He rejoins in 8th position. Simps is into the pits. He gets penalised for... oh, Will's off! Will is off at turn 8. He just avoids the Haas as he rejoins. But he's lost crucial ground to Hayden in that. So Will has gone for a spin and has lost a heap of time through that. And he's spun round again. He's causing a huge... It's caused a huge problem now in front of the field. Rimalik was trying to get out of the way as well, and think... he's continuing to go round again. Is Will... he's made contact with the wall. He's debris all over the racetrack. This is not good driving standards from Will. He's fallen behind Yellow Flower now in 4th place. Dreadful luck for Will, though. He's got 14 seconds worth of time penalty as well. He may as well come into the pits and get that front wing changed. Here's Gabriel. Doesn't slow... he does slow the car down in time. That was very marginal, but he slowed it down remarkably in time, did Gabriel. He's in 8th place. Jackson should go past him. Another set of mediums going on for the Williams. So Hayden's got a free run to the checkered flag now. Unless we do get a safety car. Balakrishna gets penalised for chuck limits again. He's got 9 seconds worth. One of the... someone's had a moment. That's Cobalt. His front wing's gone. We've got a virtual safety car. And Yellowflow coming into the pits for a change of tyres. So we've got a virtual safety car, which is the first interruption of the race. As Yellowflower pits in for a new nose cone. That could come in handy for Will actually as well. I don't think Yellowflower needed a new front wing actually. It's Cobalt that needs a new front wing, as does Will. Ebar coming into the pits for Alfa Romeo. So all the melodies for the likes of Will and Cobalt has promoted Hack up into 4th place. No one got penalised on the restart, which is good news. As you can see, Hayden's lead is 22 seconds over Just Secret. Secret's not really closing him down at the moment. In fact, he's coming into the pits, presumably for a set of these soft compounds. This should promote Yellow Flower up into second place then. So the Red Bull goes through. So Yellow Flower on course for a second place finish here. Hack looking very good in fourth. Although Will is going to be livid now inside that helmet. He'll want to make sure he can get back into second place. With that 14 seconds, he's only got 9 seconds worth of time penalty now because he served 5 seconds of it in the pits. So I think realistically he is looking at 5th place. Gabriel gets penalised for track limits. He's got his teammate Jackson coming up behind him with DRS, who goes to the inside as they enter turn 3. And Ebar looking to try to get through on the pair of them. Ooh, that was very, very ambitious there from the Alfa Romeo. Gabriel's down to 9th place and all that. Jackson gets through. They could even go 3 wide into turn 4. Ebar gets in front, goes in too deep, and that allows the Williams drivers to go through. Oh, and he sent Gabriel into the barrier. That's naughty from Ebar. That's very naughty indeed. It's a 5-second penalty for the contact as well. I wonder what Gabriel must be thinking inside that helmet after that collision. That was not good driving from Ebar at all. Just Secret in 3rd place, just putting a lap on what looked like the Aston Martin of the Lone Wolf, who's in 13th position. Yellow Flower in 2nd. And Gabriel's out of the race. He stops in the pits as well. And so he'll go no further. I'm quite surprised actually he's decided to stop now. He could have gone on and got a couple of points for his credit. Now Ebar should be penalised after the race. I know he's got 5 seconds for the contact, but I'm sure the stewards will look at it from a more thorough view. So Hayden, with 9 laps remaining, on course to take his 2nd victory of the season. He's already won in Bahrain in round 2. As Sims goes off the track to let his teammate by. So we've got 12 cars remaining on circuit. So the gap between Hayden and Yellow Flower is nearly 18 seconds. Hayden posting a new fastest up of the race, 1 minute 4.7. Now, as it stands, if it's to remain like this, Just Secret would still lead the championship, although his lead would come down to 14 points between him and Hayden. And Hack has been penalised as well. That's his first penalty of the race for track limits. Jackson seems to have left the session. We're just going to hand surely 7th place to Ebar, unless he can get back into the lobby very, very quickly. So there's Just Secret on the mediums. It's not really closing them on Yellow Flower, but having said that, he would go to 2nd place in the race, so the gap at the top would be 17 points. Cobalt gets penalised for track limits. Just seen Simps go round in the McLaren. He really has had a shocker of a race, hasn't he? Oh, he nearly took out the Red Bull as well. Nearly took out the second place Red Bull of Yellow Flower. Ebar gets in front of Jackson. I think Jackson's into the pits for a pit stop here. And he'll rejoin in 8th place because Balakushna is over half a minute behind him. And Simps has gone round again in the McLaren. I don't know what it is with him today, to be quite honest. And Simps goes round again. That promotes the Lone Wolf up into 11th position. 1 point, so 1 position off the points paying position. Hayden is 6 laps away now from a dominant victory. The game seems to be glitching at the moment in terms of the yellow flags, so I'm just trying to ignore it unless it is a genuine reason as to why the yellow flags are out. So Hayden continues to extend his margin 20 seconds clear of Yellow Flower, although Yellow Flower's time penalty would be enough for him to lose second position, although he is pulling out the margin now over Just Secret. Oh, and Hayden's off! Hayden has gone off at turn 3. That's his first mistake of the race, pretty much. He's recovered, and he's lucky to keep that out of the barrier. So Hayden closing in the gap. So Hayden's lost about 10 seconds in all of that. Will gets in front of Hack on the road, but his time penalty is 9 seconds more than Hack. So Will's going to need to make up a 9-second margin over him in the remaining laps of this race. As it stands, Will be finishing in 6th place. Cobalt continues to get penalised for shot limits as well. Just Secret has clearly kept his car on track very well here. If he does finish in 2nd place, he definitely deserves it. So Hack still within a second of Will, as Ebar gets penalised again for track limits. He wouldn't lose any positions as it stands, as Jackson's 26 seconds clear of him behind. As Balakushna has had another quiet race, but he's had a better race than in the previous rounds he's been involved with. He's got a 9-second time penalty, but that's not going to be enough for him to lose that position. He's posting on Jackson as well, whose car is, I think, it's controlled by the AI, although I could be wrong. Not long to go now. 2 lots remaining at the end of this one. And despite that mistake, Hayden is very much on course for victory. And the gap between Yellow Flower and Just Secret is 8.3 seconds. So Yellow Flower needs to try and pull out another 7 tenths This keep hold of P2 by the checkered flag. So Hayden begins the penultimate lap of the race then. Balakrishna gets another time penalty for track limits. And Will gets penalised again for track limits. His race is going from bad to worse. As it stands, he would lose 4th place. He would drop 2 positions to 6th. So Josh Secret's gap over Yellow Flower is 8.2 seconds. I think Yellow Flower's tyres are starting to go off at this stage now. Balakrishna gets in front of Jackson for 8th place. He'll have to make up a 9-second margin on him if he's to keep hold of that. So 1 lap to go then. Hayden, 10 corners away, 4 kilometres away from a brilliant victory. Yellow Flower gets penalised again. That's enough for Just Secret to pretty much take P2 from this race now, unless he makes a mistake himself. So Hayden coming into turn 4. Turn 5. We've got a left-hander of 6. 2 quick corners of 7 and 8, left and right. And then 2 right-handers of 9 and 10. And then there'll be a black and white checkered flag waiting for him. Here's Hayden. In dominant fashion. Taking pole position earlier. Rounding the last turn, he wins the Austrian Grand Prix at the Red Bull Ring. He takes his 2nd victory of the campaign. Excellent stuff from him, and well and truly deserved. Yellow Flower will cross the line 2nd, but he will not be keeping that position. He will drop to 3rd with the time penalty applied. Just Secret will go to 2nd place, which means he'll have a 17-point gap over 2nd place Hayden going to the next round of the title race. You can see Hack coming into the pits there. Not sure why he's done that, to be quite honest with you. Hack comes down in 4th place. Will is 5th with the time penalty applied. Cobalt 6th. Ebar is 7th and the last driver on the lead lap. Jackson 8th. Balakrishna 9th. Rimalik is 10th. Lone Wolf 11th. Sims in 12th. But it's victory for Hayden here at the Red Bull Ring, I should say. He's been truly brilliant from start to finish, and confirms his status as a championship contender for the campaign. Excellent stuff. So here's your race result then from the Austrian Grand Prix. Hayden wins with Secret in 2nd place. Yellow Flower is 3rd. Hack in a brilliant 4th place ahead of Will and Cobalt. Ebar is 7th and the last driver to finish on the lead lap. Jackson 8th, Balakrishna 9th and Rimley rounding out your top 10. The Lone Wolf was 11th, followed by Sims in 12th and the last of the finishers. Gabriel didn't finish, neither did Hungary or Boudigu. Well, at the top of the championship, Hayden moves up to 2nd ahead of the driver, which means his gap over championship leader Just Secret has come down to 18 points. Now, for your information in terms of where the RVRL will be racing next, it will be at Silverstone in a week's time, 5 p.m. British Summer Time on the 22nd of August. I'm Tom Cairns, and I'll speak to you again soon when the RVRL returns.